Hello, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, if you'd like to subscribe, there is a button below and also a notification bell. We are back. I am still in the room. I have to speak quietly, guys, and also the lighting and everything. So just pop those headphones on if you can't hear me. But wow, what a night, what a morning. Okay, what a 24 hours. So if you saw my videos yesterday, I was getting sick. At the end of these videos, at the end of the video, and I could feel it was a very weird energy. It was a strange feeling sick, and I had to meditate and clear. And yes, I was under psychic attack. Okay, so I went up and I did a clearing, as you can see today. How do you go from being very unwell overnight to being well? Okay, and it was only creeping in. So very interestingly enough, I went up, I connected to Spirit. So we have to share this. Spirit said you have to share this. This is what healing, this is what clearing, this is what clearing your energy can do. This is when you know you're under a psychic attack. Okay, so you can still feel a little bit of I am a little bit nasally. That's pretty normal for me when I'm around where I am, because it's all in bloom and flowers and everything like that, which is why I kind of thought, oh, it's what's blooming outside with hay fever and stuff. No, it was a psychic attack and I cleared it. Energy very different today. Then I had a dream. So this is going to be a very specific read. It also leads to, about a week ago, I received a message about asking about the Jezebel spirit. And could I explain it, and symptoms and all types of things from some. I ignored it because I don't want to get into that energy. I'm beyond, I just didn't want to get into that energy. So then I had the psychic attack. I was up and then I had a dream, and the dream made sense. So this will be very specific. We are going to talk about Jezebel spirits in this reading, and this is obviously for a particular person because they were in my dream last night. I don't know who they are. I don't know who it relates to, but this is going to be a message for the collective in general. There'll be learning and spiritual messages in this for you. Now, where do we start? Now, just let me get into my energy. Remember to reverse roles, genders, actions, all of the above. Although I may follow a gender, it's he, she, they. You have to place it where it fits. So what I do want you to understand is this. To answer the question for someone, we're going to explain a lot of things about attachment and attachment energy. And they are coming in full force now as we start to align or move forward into higher timelines, clearing energies, epiphanies, revelations. This is when you'll see these Jezebel, succubus, incubus energies really start to amp up their tactics, their attacks, their energy infiltration, because they do their job. They have a mission, okay? Their mission is to stop you from evolving. They suck your life force. They feed off soul energy. They feed on souls, okay? They entrap and trap people in a spiritual connection. All right, so we're going to get there. But my dream last night was I was really busy. I was late for work. Somebody I had to call, so I had to run to this person. It was a masculine in the dream, but that can just represent a masculine energy. Okay, so place it where it fits. I don't know who this person was. I ran in and they were laying down. I was like, what's happening? And they, when I opened, they're like, I can't breathe. They had like nearly cords wrapped around their neck, and they're like, I can't breathe. So they ripped open the shirt, and there was all these clips on their chest and cords and wire, and they actually had a dress on. Now the dress for me represented they've lost their power, masculinity, ability to get out of it, because this person couldn't breathe. They said, I'm stuck. So I was like, okay. And they had a dress underneath. I didn't pay much attention to it, but I just went, oh, okay. And I'm under it. And then I'm like, I gotta rush back to work type thing. So when they stood up, they jumped up and they took a breath. And when they stood up, they said, I was really fooled. I got really, really fooled. I really, like taken for a ride. Okay, so now it's all linking. This is why the message will have to come out, because it's going to keep going and building until I get the message out. That's what part of being a true channeler, a medium, and a psychic and a clairvoyant is. We have to deliver messages for the collective. Now, if that doesn't resonate for you, it could be someone you're dealing with, have dealt with in the past. You might want answers, all of that type of thing. When you have spiritual attacks, you'll start to get unwell. Your energy drains and depletes very quickly. It's unexplained sickness out of nowhere that comes and goes very quick like that. That's how I know. If I know I'm getting sick, you'll get sick. That's a sickness. But if you actually can go up and do some clearing and energy and do some spiritual work, energy work, and it goes like that, you're like, oh, okay, that was something, a distortion of your energy field. So we're going to get into it. But this person wants you to know or where to help them. And we're going to help the collective in general. You have to protect your energy. Don't go out there just connecting and sleeping and mixing with anyone, whether it's healing, intimate, connection, relationships. That it's no joke. You are who you are around, okay? And once you're intimate with someone, there's a DNA exchange, particularly if there's intimate relationship, like sexual relationship. They connect into your root, your base chakra. They do lots of root work, okay? That then connects into you. You have a DNA exchange. They can go up your spine and they can read your thoughts, control your mind, and take over body and emotions, and kind of always know what you're up to. So it's like a false connection. It's like a fake connection. It's like, oh, I always know what you're thinking and feeling, or I'm always a step ahead, or I can read you, that we're talking about this negative, toxic Jezebel energy and spirit. We're not talking about a higher divine, non-toxic spiritual connection. And this is the message today that we need to bring forth, because the attacks are full on now, because you're going into North Node, higher timelines, closing out karmic cycles, moving on, having epiphanies, having awakenings. Your soul's getting a reboot. The Jezebel, incubus, succubus energies are in full flight now. So someone's energy, and yes, that was when I said the word melancholic. I never used that word. So there was a deep, like, this is so heavy, you would be completely worried about this person. So when you are, okay, for starters, a Jezebel spirit is probably more powerful than a succubus or incubus, but they're all in the same family. Why is the Jezebel? Jezebels are usually feminine energy. They can be in feminine or masculine, but it is a feminine energy. It is about seduction. It is a mimicker. It is a trickster. It is a shapeshifter. They come in all sweet and kind, and I'll do what you want and I'll be what you want. And they particularly attack men, but vice versa. It can be in either. And why? Because masculines are very visual. So they come in very alluring. You know the old saying, the devil never sends someone that you don't want, that you're not attracted to, that can't seduce you, all of that. They're not, that's all part of it. And this is about respecting your body, loving your body, having boundaries, choosing who you're intimate with, choosing who you are connecting your energy and cells and DNA with. It's a real thing. There's science behind it, guys. Okay, so let's get into this. So the question was, how do I know a Jezebel spirit? They will come in and they will say, they will always be seductive or use seduction, okay, whether it's they'll ooze section. We'll use the example of men and women, but it honestly, it's he, she, they, honestly. But I'm going to use that to keep the story straight in my head, because I'll get a lot of distraction and psychic attack even bringing this message out to you. And this is what another thing people don't understand about our work. We get constantly attacked. That's why we have strong boundaries, okay? So let's use the example of masculine, feminine, a Jezebel spirit. They will come in and, I will look after you, I will do, we will work together, we will build, I can give you babies, I can give you this, I'll just be here for you to service you so you can do what you want. That is a masculine's dream situation, to have a person sitting there at just completely doted to them. Now, this is only talking about toxicity relationships. You can have that in a positive, healthy, light relationship. There is nothing wrong with that. We're talking about the fake trick at the start. It never lasts. It's not their thing. It's their trick. Okay? They cannot sustain it. They cannot maintain it. And you will see, once they lure you in or entrap or enslave, which they do in many ways, okay? At first it'll be seduction, then it could be through children, pregnancy, this, that, or money, or looking after, or, needing help or needing them, or, codependency. Now, again, we're talking about toxic codependency and things like that, not healthy codependency. There's a big difference. This talk is about helping you discern the difference, because they come in and they hook you. Okay, it will be very seductive. They'll wear very minimal clothing, the splits, it's all seduction. It's all, I can give you what you want. I can, I'm your dream person. And they'll convince them. Once they're in that, they'll become very arrogant, dominating, overbearing, tyrannical, strategic, coercive, forceful. They will have built up some form of blackmail, entrapment. They're very egotistical, very codependent. It's called a dark witch, a dark empath, a dark king or queen. They will be your world and you will be their world. And nothing can exist out of that. They're into power imbalances, temptress energy, seductive. And when they're treating you, it's very cold, it's very disconnected, it's very stingy, jealous, envious, and violence, okay? There's a lot of suffering. They do get off on you suffering, missing them, pain, they're missing you. It's very intense. And that's why it tends to entrap masculines very easily, because it's a lot of vasopressin, a lot of dopamine, and that's that fake love thing. Then they've got you, there's a lot of secrets, spitefulness, chaos, loss, haywire energy, conflict, possession over every area of their life. They go for naivety, weakness. They look for your weaknesses, and they intentionally then put you through ruthless, reckless suffering, okay? There'll be lots of upheaval, and any changes you make, there'll be upheaval blocks, delayed starts, and when the mask falls off, or the mimicking, or the catfishing, or the fakeness, or the show, they'll have very dead eyes, very heavy energy, and become very tyrannical, okay? Threatening, if I can't have you, no one can have you. And I'm talking diabolical, attacking, and threats, and violence, and things like that, okay? Or to you, them, or others around them. They will attack family, friends, and family members, but be as sweet as apple pie to their face. So look for dramatic changes and where they cannot sustain energy. They are the trickster spirit, okay? You can't live without them. They cling to your energy. You cling to their energy. They're very smooth talking, very good at flipping scripts and making things look a different way. They get you into a lower frequency, then you're really trapped and stuck. You cannot see through their fog, okay? They're very, they want you to lose yourself in them, and vice versa, and you will lose yourself and your soul. Jezebel spirit's mission is to to trap and entrap, keep your energy stuck, take you down. You will end up with mental breakdown, and when it's severe, and stress, and you can't see and function, and they're the only one you believe, there's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is all vasopressin. This is all I own your soul. And you feel the pull. You actually think it's a spiritual pull. Their job is to feed off soul energy, to block soul paths, okay? You'll feel like you're going crazy because they send you crazy. In the end, or towards the end, when they've really got you entrapped and your energy's low and they've been sucking on your life force and your soul, because they're collectors of souls. Jezebel spirits collect soul energy. You will be living in heaven and hell. You know, the best of the best and the worst of the worst, and you can never get a middle ground or sustain a cycle. Now, they entrap you. They're entrapped with a demonic energy, and they trap you with a demonic energy that's feeding. So it's like there's the feeding, the obsession, the possession. I need it. I can't let you go. I can't live without you, but I can't live with you. Okay, so these people will end up having mental breakdowns, hallucinations, not sleeping, feel like they're going crazy, losing themselves, feeling lost, and they like you to be loose and messy, okay? There's lots of cold, ruthless fighting, control, nastiness, selfishness. They get you into drinking, drugging, sexing, sex addictions, being reckless, taking substance, partying, all that sort of energy, because it's all to lower and distort your energy. So you find these people, and this is not in all cases, this is only in the case of they're huge lovers of like orgies, sex addictions, threesomes, poly relationships. That, not saying there's anything wrong with that if it's what you do and you're healthy and you're happy and you're free and you're living a really abundant, prosperous life, not a problem. But this is when the person will start to, everything falls apart. Everything's in addiction. They love addiction. They love you in addiction. They go for weaknesses where there's no self-love, where there's addictions. They look for your weaknesses, okay? So that you'll start to be completely controlled. They basically, when they're at the point where they're so messed up, or you're so messed up, and it's so messy, and you can't get to self-love. You know, the light irritates you, positive people irritate you, you will be craving and wanting out, but can never break away. But nothing's growing, nothing's abundant, nothing's prosperous. And when it is, it's all fake, it's all facade, it doesn't last. They entrap you in a cycle you cannot get out. You could be constantly exhausted, losing weight, gaining weight, and walking around like a zombie. When you're in that, you know, dark eyes, dark, heavy, disconnecting from you and people around you. What happens then is they have really, this demonic energy in them have really, or beings that are attached, you're now entrapped in the soul. So that's why we say they're soulless and they become heartless, and it becomes very ruthless and about money and what you can give and do and control. And yeah, so that's why the Jezebel spirit is classed as a very powerful spirit, because they've taken over your mind, how you think, how you believe. And to get away from them, you basically need an exorcism. If you do need to break it, you have to go celibate. I mean, if you go celibate around a Jezebel spirit, oh my God. Or if you cut them off or block them, or they think you're moving on or breaking free, watch the love bombing, watch the fantasy, watch everything just amp up like never before. They will promise you everything they know, your heart's desire. They can read your soul. It's not the person that they're with, it's the demonic entity telling them what to do. Okay, and how to do it, and what are your strengths and weaknesses. So I had to set up a lot of protection to get this reading out, and I can already feel something trying to come in because it doesn't like us getting this out. The more people you're intimate with, this is a thing, and I am doing up a meditation, or when I get the time, because people have asked me to do one to call back your energy. You have to completely disconnect from those people. You cannot be intimate with these people once you disconnect from them. Once you re-engage, a kiss, a hug, a tap, an emotional connection, it's all over. That they will overpower you. They will be back in that door. Okay? It's about teaching you about strong boundaries, self-love, loving your temple, male or female. And males more so, because they're not saying it is just it can be either way, but very tempted. Like, just because something's beautiful and alluring and giving you and saying everything you want doesn't mean you need to engage or engage your body or connection. You have to start protecting your DNA now. So your life force is gone, and they will be probably deeply into dark arts, dark witchcraft. And what they do is I was listening to a podcast, and this guy was an ex-Satanist, and how he got out, and it's a very interesting thing. And he was talking about how they will affect your feet. They do spells on your feet to try and change fate and legs and destiny. So as you move towards the light or out or freedom, you will drop it suddenly. So if you've ever had someone come in and it's wonderful and it's all healthy and light, like a higher divine counterpart in the light, and there's abundance and love and kindness and sweetness, and then all of a sudden, like a white light switch, it flips off. Generally, they say there's been some form of black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever, and with dark arts, witchcraft, where they will do it on your feet to change destiny, change your path. So you go towards it, and then you'll switch instantly and suddenly. So you're moving, what his words were, you move towards something you love or is of the light, or that pulls your heart and soul, that you know is a good or loving connection, and then suddenly overnight it's a cut off, or it's an instant hate, or an instant disconnect, or an instant 360 for no reason. You don't know why, and they don't know why. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of illusion, there's a lot of delusion, and there's a lot of mind control. So that's another tactic see, I didn't even see that. Moon, illusion, delusion. Okay, lots of veils. See, they're very confident. This card, male or female, is egotistical, boastful, confident, controlling, arrogant, dominating, in, out. This is just to okay, we have Emperor out on the table. There's the Tower. I know what this is. See, wish fulfillment, an Emperor under they didn't see it. So this Emperor, there is an Emperor and an Empress out. They did not see this, and now they're fully defending themselves. It's coming at them. I'm also hearing there's numerous people. So they get them into, they're like, yeah, you can sleep. So they don't mind if their partner's out sleeping around. They probably both do it. They're into luring people in, having threats, and all to feed the Jezebel spirit, all to feed this Jezebel spirit, because it's a collector of soul, life force, and light energy. Okay. Now, the Tower has, the wish fulfillment tower. You know, the universe has stepped in. It usually does happen because we're in spiritual growth now, and we're healing and closing out our Chiron wounding. So a lot of you, A, need to learn this for the future. B, this might help you out of something or through something, or just to understand something. And how powerful this stuff really can be. So, you know, always being very careful. And they're happy for them to go and steal other energy and bring it back to the relationship, because it's what keeps the relationship alive. They will look for anointed ones, earth angels, light beings, and they'll send their little person out, or they've got that person in that energy sending out energy harvesting to bring back, to actually feed and keep their own relationship together. And this is only in unhealthy, toxic, diabolical, tyrannical. Okay. Yeah, look, secrets, hidden, high priestess energy. So, and this is spiritual warfare. You hear us often speak about spiritual warfare. Well, here it is. Okay, yeah, I can't make it up. The magician, the emperor. So the emperor, although involved in all of this, there seems to be a number of people. They're being called out, they're being caught out, they've been, there's lots of fake promises. There's lots of, I'm hearing big promises to outside people, probably lovers, and false future promising. And it was all to just energy harvest or money or material. Or Jezebel spirits like status, power, fame. They want the glory. They want the high status without any work. They gather groups. They harvest off energy or send minions out to do that. It's very unstable energy, and that's how you'll know the difference. But this emperor's the magician. They're trying to manifest their way out, or had an epiphany, or trying to, all the pieces are coming together. It's lots of back and forth in these energies, on, off, back, forward, irresistible, can't break free. I own you, I can't live without you, this, yeah. And what happens is the lesson is self-love, boundaries, but it is also about control, emotional control and self-control. So you find, those lower devilish, let's just get some, yeah. Yeah, they will have you working for them too. There's the tower. This person's either been looking in, working, or building. There's a magician on the emperor. The tower is to what they've been building and working on. It's not their wish fulfillment. They're moving forward. They have all the tools, skills, and knowledge now. Okay, let's have a look at this empress. Yeah, they're moving towards a true empress, but they were also giving page offers. So, when a page offer comes to an empress, warning bells. Okay, they know who you are. They didn't see this. They were blinded by happiness. They were blinded by a fake happiness. They didn't see it. Someone told them, this is your happiness. I can give you everything you want and more. I can be, whatever they promised, they didn't deliver. Actually, correction, Spirit said they weren't an empress. They were a page. So this person was a page. So this was someone presenting to be an empress, only offering page. Breadcrumbs, giving you the least but offering you the most. Okay? And it was to block the path, the higher path, the path of the divine. That is a Jezebel's mission, guys. An incubus, a succubus. Their mission is to get you stuck, trapped, entrapped, and blocked to your path, to your own mind, to your own energy. They play, they're playful. They keep you in playful energy, okay? And it's all to block this path, fight for this path. They'll generally end up with very loving people, kind people, caring, people of the light, people with a big mission, journey, a twin flame, a higher divine counterpart. They mimic that. They actually come in and it's all false. Yep, I can't make this up. This emperor thought he had the world. He thought he was a magician. He was sitting in a place of power, giving to these people. His ego was fed, and he was giving to many people. Okay, and Jezebel spirit, or the partner they were with, was very happy with that. They were all for this. As long as they were giving and acting helpless and making this person feel like a big emperor, magician, telling them, feeding them, seducing everything they wanted. So they, and when they say no, and when things are not going their way, they need to pull power back, the Jezebel gets tyrannical. And it's actually the emperor that is scared of Anyway, all right. So there's a power play. There's a constant power trip and power play. Now we have the tower. building, and now decision. Nothing's moving forward. This Emperor is now thinking, or has thought. The Tower is something has been alerted. I even think they've found evidence, tangible evidence, work, hidden work. Something has been exposed here about work planning, who they were giving to, whatever it is. Now, the wish fulfillment, the moving forward here, they have all the tools, skills, knowledge to move forward, but see this imbalance. This also shows me that they stopped the moving forward to their wish fulfillments by imbalancing their energy. Yeah. It's all here. This is just our confirmation. So clear your energy, ground, earth, disconnect. I'm sorry to say it, it's like when you have any professional psychologist, psychiatrist, whoever will advise with narcissistic energy and Jezebel energies, it's very similar, not quite the same, but similar. And you just can't have them in your life. And if you do have money, family, children, this sort of thing, it has to be done like, it has to be one of those situations where, of course, you have to work with someone, but it would have to be done through legal and professional people to keep those boundaries. You can never engage with them other than text, email, or through a lawyer, solicitor, or someone of a higher professional, because they will get you. They own and entrap, and once they're in, you basically can never get out of it, and they have got into your soul, become a part, like an energy. So we call it like an exorcism would be, or energy break. You can't have anything to do with these people, because cells have memory and cells can reactivate, okay? That's what they play on. That's why they need to be sexual. They need to get the DNA happening. Yeah, look, this Empress and fake Empress, fake page Empress, was to stop the spiritual journey. Stop them moving forward on their spiritual journey, fulfilling the cup. They're like, I'm your cup, I'm your everything, I can give you everything. What is it that you need? I can do everything. That they sell themselves. They become, they're very chameleon at the start, okay? Or if they find out your fantasies, your dreams, the type of woman, man, this, that you like, the lifestyle, like, you know, when you say, well, I want this and I want that and I like my home to be this, they will play that off for a while, but it's all to block the path. See, we've got cups in reverse now. They tip out all your cups. See, healing in reverse. They didn't see it. Wish fulfillment, it was fake. It was false. So they leave you unhealed. You never heal. And that's what they do. You know, when you're leaving a situation and it's been that tyrannical or that obsessed, possessed, or, you know, toxic, there's like, we need to heal this. We need to close this out. So particularly if you're a light worker, if you're a healer, if you're an empath, if you're empathic, if you care about people, if you're worried about your children and your family and your this and your life and your karma, they will play on that. They will play on that. They know, they use every single weakness you have, even if you're separating. Okay? So they don't want you to heal. They don't want to heal. They don't want you to see it. They're not going to take the offer. See, they'll make out they're taking the offer. So anyway, abuse of power. Hierophant in reverse. Abuse of power. No healing. Happiness. No happiness. Can't see it. But they actually blind you to the false power entrapment, the abuse of power. This is unethical abuse and use of power. So, threats, blackmail, fake and false mental health issues. Well, really, I don't know if they're fake and false, but they will utilize that. Have a look at when someone uses a sickness or illness, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, as a way to get their way or apologize or need or get you back in empathizing for them. And then all of a sudden they're better. Everything's on track for them again and they're better. It's funny how those illnesses, sickness and mental disorders or whatever imbalances aren't there then. Because someone with true issues, even when they're getting their way, they still have there's, again, they are the actors of the universe. You ready? Incoming message. This person defending themselves. The path. Now that could be something they've learned and awakened to, because Jezebel spirits only attack or can attack for a while. People with strong boundaries, people that are onto them, people who are healed, people that can say no, people that are not easily seduced, manipulated, all those to toxicity. We've all been in a toxicity. We've all been trapped, had an experience of a toxic situation. But you learn, you grow, you get out of it. You might do it a few times. You might go, oh my God, I've got a pattern, I've got a cycle. You do your healing, you do your growth. And then you hit a point where you're like, right? That's a healed person. Jezebel spirits don't come for those people. Narcissistic people don't come for people who can see through them and can see truth. That's why there's a lot of binding and blinding, right? So and they like people who like cycles, so addiction to whatever, being loved. If you're scared of rejection, abandonment, if they know you're empathic, they'll play on that. So this person wasn't learning their lesson. They weren't getting it. They were just going into the same cycle over and over and over. They were falling for it all the time, right? It's not an easy thing. We're not talking about this is easy. This isn't just, this is what spells, curses, hexes, voodoo, black magic. It is a thing, but you kind of know, but they're not listening. It's very out of body because someone else is controlling you, or the entity or deity or whatever is controlling you. So they're defending themselves. They're trying to get on their path. This person was blocking them from getting on their path. It's all there in the cards. Incoming information, help them release a 10 of Wands. I'm telling you up here, they found something out, or they've had their final epiphany or awakening, or something was found out. What did they find out? It's all here. It was sudden. It was a tower. It was sudden. It was a release of the devil. And it's funny because my dream was these were like those clips with metal and then clip and then wires. Like if I got entangled up in my wires there, it was really weird. Yeah, message, text, email, the lovers, choices, decisions, higher, lower paths. I would say there's been evidence like text, emails, receipts. I'd say it's tangible work. Something's, maybe or the spells are breaking, illusions and delusions, because of the timeline shifts, the vibrational shifts. They get seen. 10 of Swords. It is all over for this devil. I heard someone was pushed too far, and 9 of Swords. Oh my God. 9 and 10 of Swords, devil. This person's realized who they were with. And I am hearing multiple people are involved or have been tricked by this. I'm hearing couple. Thruple. It's all turned bad. There could be imprisonment for some people. Look, the devil, the 10 of Swords, the Nine of Swords, blocking the North Node. They've realised they were there to block them from their North Node, which we see here. Oh, my word. Oh, the tea. Oh, my God. This is what, you know, and it's so interesting because when you connect with true love, it is better than any of this sexy, sexual, toxic. Honestly, when you really love and connect and do true love and you know, you can have all that fun in a high vibration. not the multiples, but you can go pretty deep within the heart, soul and connection and intimacy. You don't need to be doing this, because the more intimacy you have, the more scattered your soul, because you lose piece fragments of your soul and you gain fragments of soul, so they become more and more confused. That's why they become more and more uncommittal, more and more lost, more and more confused. They don't know who they are. They never know who they are, and when they do, it flicks off really quickly. Okay, I just heard the word concubine. I can't really remember what that is, but I have a feeling it's about being one of many under the, I don't know, there's some, I'll have to look that up. It's not coming to me, it's too early in the morning. It's too early in the morning for this, but it all makes sense. Okay. There's no way they can deny this. Look, whether they stay in it or not, or entrapped or stuck or whatever, they're either in or they're out, wholly or solely, and they're either choosing this, staying in it, or they have to get out of it. As I said, you cannot have these people in your life, unfortunately. You just can't. And you can't work with them either. They don't want to. See, they have to walk away even though they don't want to. They're forced. Star, and the Page of Swords shows me that they kind of do have the information for some reason. Alignment. Yeah, this is why they haven't moved towards their alignment, their blessing, their star. But they honestly did think they were with that. Apologies coming. They're going to message you. They want to come forward with an apology. Oh, I couldn't see the Devil. Fated Wheel of Change. Oh, I thought you were the Devil. Yeah, they're moving away from a dark high priestess. There is our Jezebel spirit right there. No intuition, false information, abusive information, contracts, higher contracts. They were not a soulmate, and they're putting the past behind them. They're waiting for this fate of Wheel of Change, and they're apologetic, I bet. For some, they're behind bars. This has turned so toxic that there will be legal issues. Yep. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Gold digger. Only about material, what they can get, being looked after, being provided for, ruling the roost, sitting on the throne, running the home, the castle, not contributing a thing, unnurturing, ungiving, all those words I said at the start. Oh, well, we live and we learn. Judgment has been made. The fates and judgment. They're coming in. They want victory. With the Two of Cups, with an equal, higher, divine counterpart, purpose, path, destiny. They're coming towards a Queen of Swords, and I would suggest that Spirit's saying, you better have your sword up with this person. I mean, look what they fell for. Look what they were involved with. Look at what they chose, possibly over you. Or if they're new, do a background check. You should be guarded. It is, and the victory will be boundaries. Okay, what's the message for my collective? Yeah, heartbreak. I would say for a lot of you, not all of you, but for a lot of you, this could be a past person and you needed clarification, validation, or the knowing, or the why, or this person has hurt you, or if they were new coming in, they're very hurt, or they could have the potential to hurt you. But this is generally past pain, past hurt, past suffering. But please take it where it fits. This could be a warning that you need to, as you move into timelines, think about who you connect with. Think about who you team up with. Think about it. Very hard when you do come across a true twin or true higher divine soulmate and they're entrapped in this. Very tricky. Yeah, look. Heartbreak, a Queen of Cups. I want to add in another thing here, just for information purposes only. They target. They get off on hurting kind, spiritual, genuine, generous, kind, loving. This is actually who they will come and hurt and energy harvest to take back to a Jezebel. They don't pick other Jezebels, only when they're in that. And I mean, Spirit said, no, correction. They do pick other Jezebels. That's when they gather all those people that are into that or do that or happy to do that. But they'll end up hurting them. But their gold source, their top shelf liquor of source of energy or life force or energy, let's call it, essence, is to target spiritual people, kind people, empathic people, and hurt them. They get off on it. It is a bit sadistic. They are into sadism. And I think it's Machiavellian. Oh my God. I can't. No, I can't get the word. Machiavellian, whatever that other, how you say that differently. I don't know, I'll have to Google these words. I'm only hearing them. It's too early in the morning, to be honest. Too busy. Yeah. See, hurt a Queen of Cups, and you had to gather up your own strength, and on your own, that isolated you. They tried to take everything from you, whether it was time, energy, money, love, this essence, your purity, your soul, break your heart. They laugh, they mock, they get off on this. But they didn't know how strong you were. You were strong. You were stronger than this Jezebel. Because you stayed pure, you stayed in the light, you stayed in your integrity. None of that's integrity. None of that's integrity. They have no integrity. Yep. Yeah, look. This King of Pentacles promised this Queen of Cups. They were moving forward. Love, overflowing love, new abundance, strength, happiness. You're the spotlight. And they left you out in the cold. They either turned you into a Queen of Wands or you are a Queen of Wands, and that's even better for them. When they attack like people of the light or empaths or spiritual people or whatever, when they attack and if I break her heart, I mean that feeds that demonic entity soul. That's that demise and destroy and suffering and hurting. And that was their aim with you. Or remember, reverse roles, but this is fake, promising everything and then throwing you out in the cold. Or it's why, or this is done to them, or I don't know, you place that where it fits. Probably being done to them now. Yeah, they fed you illusions, delusions, false promises. It was a use for their Jezebel. See, Hermit, you're in Hermit. Queen of Cups went into Hermit. The Sword of Truth. Okay, you got the truth, whether it was from spirit or others or self or worked it out. They actually just wanted to steal from you what you've built, what you've grown. Your Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. They came in like a King of Pentacles, like you're it, I'm going to marry you, you're the one. And they were a page. The World card, the reset, the moving forward, that's what they promised from this situation, person, place, situation, or this is what... Sorry about that, guys. That person slammed the door. My phone fell down. Oh, no, I've got no stand or anything, so you'll just have to bear with me. See the interference that's happening? Yeah. Yeah, because look, that's a yes on the Queen of Wands. Look, you were it for them. There's no doubt about it, or they really did have a moment of moving forward, a reset, a path. It was a yes, but they got seduced and tricked and they're owned and couldn't leave this Jezebel. This could be a past situation. This bit might not apply, but I've got to follow the cards, so it'll make sense to whoever. Or this is the entrapment that they've also gone through because they're promised the world. They think they know what they're doing. They reset. They go on it. It's a yes, and again they end up in lack. But that's what they were. Oh, that's what they were off doing to other people. Okay, got it. Yeah, moon illusion player. Blind, stuck, didn't see it. Yeah, they're entrapped in this. They're entrapped in this deception, and they do deception. So why do we need to know this? Yeah, the King of Wands. And their match was the Queen of Wands, who they did that to. So what it's showing, doesn't matter if you are a King or Queen of Wands, it basically is showing they did it to their divine match. Yep, they did it to a lot of people. Multiple. I think this is how they harvest this energy. And I'm hearing couple or throuple. So there's a lot of unhappy people. I don't think you were the only one that got this done to them. They were doing this. They were stealing. They were stealing and getting away. Taking it. They regret it now. And that was all to build this whatever foundation with this Jezebel. But multiple people were deceived. Yep, they were trying to build or collaborate. People didn't see it the right way, or they didn't. Multiple. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They were in it. They went dark. Okay. Reevaluation coming now because they're either coming at those or those are coming at them. This is the endings beginning. They were doing this to people doing this to them. I mean, their karma's their karma. This is why we tell you, just walk away, go away, walk away, don't engage, let them go, don't chase them, don't get involved, because there's a heap of people that are all caught up in this. Justice, the Sun card. These guys have been caught. They're being caught. Temperance, Justice, the Sun card. Jeez, someone's in trouble. Nine of Pentacles, celebration. Either you'll be lucky you got away, independent, single, or they're getting away, trying to want to be independent, single, or yeah, King of Cups, celebration, ready to move forward, expand beyond your current horizons. We've got the King of Cups out. He's a match to the Queen of Cups, King and Queen of Wands. Whatever they were in, they're getting out of, or if they're entrapped or being caught or staying in that, you got out of it. You'll just have to, no idea. And you or this person or whatever, if you needed to understand something, break free and to close a karmic cycle, book, story, chapter, or they are closing that out and they're ready to, this is Gallop out of town. And here's what I want to actually say in this. They're ready to flee. They're ready for their ships to come on. They're sick of this. They're ready to move on, move forward beyond the current situation. That's either you, them, or them and them, or you'll work it out. But here's the moral of this story. Be careful they're not coming in. Some people do not learn their lesson. They do not change. They just move to a different state, province, country, area code. They just seek in a different... See, this person's ready to flee, passionate, or suddenly, or so that you have to discern, Spirit just said, whether they've learnt their lesson and actually moving on and learnt the lesson and completely closed it out, or they're just moving on to do it again. Some people change and learn a lesson, a karmic lesson, grow and move on, and some people just keep repeating the cycle and just target new people. Okay, so there's a lot of clarification in this, and I feel like, oh, thank God I've got it out. I hope we can wrap it up, move on, get this energy out of our readings and system and move forward. But to move forward, this is why. This is the spiritual journey. This is the cup that was missing. This was the piece of the puzzle. This might have been why you were blocked, how you were blocked, or you needed confirmation or clarification or an understanding to move forward into a spiritual path. So your journey was either trying to be blocked still, or so there's just multiple ways this could end out, or that story could go in different directions, because we don't know whether they've learnt the lesson or they've gone so dark they can't get out, or because some people just move on, they ship themselves out to another place, country, area, and start the whole thing again where people don't know them, or they've learnt their lesson, they're out and they're never going back, and this is what we say about, caring, loving, nurture. It's all fun and games until, your life falls apart, or you end up behind bars, or, you're completely walking around like a zombie, in lack and drained. See. And if this did happen to you and whatever, look, temperance, balance, the laws of cause and effect always balance. We never have to retaliate. If you see this, or you start to get entrapped in this, or things aren't matching, walk away. Cry, grieve, heal, walk away, because karma, balance, the laws of cause and effect always come back round. These Jezebel spirits, it's all fun and game and dark arts and all of this stuff's all fun until it comes crashing down, until the universe will step in and rebalance. And then it's not fun and games, okay? And that's generally when people learn. The biggest lessons, turning points, growths in their life. Look, the fates have stepped in, and they always do, guys. They always do. That's why you might think, oh, the light and the kindness and the this, and it's so boring, and you weren't fun enough, whatever it was. It's all fun and games until the karma and the temperance card comes in. There's a message. They're 10 of swords, judgment, and the 2 of cups. This person has realized, whether it's a higher path, purpose, person, union, destiny, they know. They now know. There's clarity now. They got the clarity now. See this confusion, this heartbreak? Yeah. They know now. Putting the past behind them. I'm going to wrap it up. Temperance card. I'm so glad we've got that out, cleared, done, dusted. Let's move on. Let's get one goddess card. Message for you. This will help heal abundanta, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance to you now. Be open to receiving. So if you've been through this, or you've been a victim, I don't like that word, but if you were caught up in this with this person, or they were doing it to you, or whatever, you're now getting prosperity. The universe is about to pour abundance all over you, in their face, in your face. That's what the kids say out the back. In your face, they say that. Oh, I heard some football, and they were running around, and they were about 8 or 9 or something, and in your face. It's so funny. It must be the thing to say. Be strong. Be strong. You are stronger than you think. And you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Oh, see, you're sitting on your throne, but you're like in the light, in the golden energy. Royal, your high priestess. You knew. For some of you, medicine. You are a channel for divine healing power. It is in reverse, so you might have lost a lot of faith in spirit and the universe and all of that. But be strong, because the abundance is coming. For some of you, they mess with a high priestess, or you knew, or I'm getting you warned them. You tried to help them. You tried to warn them. You were their true divine counterpart. Let's see, Green Tara, ask others to help you. It's time for cleansing and detoxification. Be strong, and you know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Kunyin, release judgments about yourself and others. Focus on love and light and everything within. That's what we mean. Walk away. Don't judge. Don't worry. That's on them. That's on them. You grow. You evolved. You moved on. You learned. Your boundaries are great. And you kind of tick that karmic box. Now we move into the future. You don't need to deal with that now. The situation will be handled in fair and just manner by the divine. The karmic justice scales awaken the goddess within. All they did was awaken the goddess within you, in them. Dance and appreciate your divinity. Create. No, we don't want to do that yet. Yeah, it's all good. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. All they did was upgrade you, male, female, lesson learned, karmic checklist done. You will be rewarded if you stayed in integrity, light, handled it. You will be vindicated for all the false allegations, facades, tricks that this Jezebel was able to have everyone against you, or whatever, or say about you, or win over your divine counterpart, or I don't know, or block your path, your purpose, whatever. Yeah. So everything comes back in divine order. So now it's the time to wrap it up, Spirit said, as a major life altering, healing, soul growth. Like you've just elevated. They're about to elevate you. Take care. Bye.